Now it's my pleasure to introduce our administrator, Charlie Bolden. Charlie, come on up here.
I was telling Chris Ferguson when he sat down, I said, it's not fair. And I was asking him if it was because he's from Philadelphia or what. You know, I've been with Chris and the crew, throughout the final flight and the landing and everything else, and I'm always impressed by the four of them and the way that they have carried this. It's not a burden, but it's an awesome responsibility to be the representatives of the space program as the final crew to fly a vehicle in a program. And they have done it incredibly well, and Chris is always so eloquent when he talks. Bob is always so eloquent when he talks, and then I come up here with notes. But I have to, because I'm not quite as suave and debonair as are they. I do want to thank the Merritt Island High School Color Guard and the band and others over there. And Sierra, you were awesome. Let me tell you, the national anthem is hard. Most professionals who try it really mess it up. You were beautiful today, and I thank you so much for honoring us by singing that. Bob, thanks very much for the introduction, and thanks for letting me be a part of this program. It's just wonderful to be back here at KSC and to be with the KSC workforce. And as I look out and as I had an opportunity to talk to a lot of you this morning, because we were out here like 6 o'clock, they were doing a brief, and then rolling out at 6:30, it's really special to be here with you and with my old friend Atlantis. I know there's Dave Leetsma. My eyes aren't as good as they used to be, even with my glasses, and I know Dave Leetsma's over there, and I'm not calling names, but I was looking for my crew members who were with me on Atlantis, and there's somebody back there and all that. But it's great to be here. Dave and I were among the crew and the backups who had the privilege of celebrating the anniversary of the 20th anniversary of STS-45, which was my single flight on Atlantis. And we were in Brussels, Belgium, and Atlantis was the focus of Space Week in Belgium. I tell you that only because I want you to recognize the significance that the shuttle program has had and will continue to have. And that was not about history. That program was about the future in Belgium, in another country, where they see what we started with shuttle, and they're just hopeful that we won't give up and that we'll continue. Bo, I want to thank you for being here. Chris, I've already said how much I appreciate your being here. I want to let everybody know something. You know, today is a historic day. It's an incredibly historic day. But I don't preside over an agency that's in the history business. That's not what NASA does. We're not a history organization. We're in the business of creating the future. And we're in the business of taking science fiction and turning it into science fact. And I think most of you here realize that. That's what we do. We take things that people say are impossible, and we make them possible. We dazzle people at the way we do it. It's always fun to come down here because this is one place in the world where you guys and girls take something, people say it cannot be done, and you just go do it. And the problem with you is you make it look too easy. You know, you just make it look too easy. What we do is not easy. What we do is incredibly difficult. And you should be very proud about what we have done through the incredible 30 years of the shuttle program. It's also difficult to make a transition. Really difficult to make a transition. You know, Bo was there, I was there. There are some of us who were there between Apollo and shuttle. Or if you want to really get to it, between Apollo-Soyuz and shuttle, or between Skylab and shuttle. There was a break. And it was a painful break, particularly for people who had been a part of the Apollo program. There's some people who still don't want to let it go. But you know, that happens. That's life. You have to just sometimes say, okay, we did great things, and now we're on to greater things. This magnificent ship behind me is tangible representation of a great nation, our hopes and dreams. We couldn't be where we are, poised for tomorrow's progress, without the space shuttle. And there are more exciting things happening right now here at KSC as well as around the agency. A little over a year after the shuttle retired, just this week, we completed the first commercial resupply mission to the International Space Station. A little company called SpaceX launched Dragon from right over there at Cape Canaveral. It's the first of many such launches, and we're well on track to once again launch American astronauts from U.S. soil in the next few years, right here from the Kennedy Space Center. I see Mark Sarangelo there. Chris Ferguson now represents Boeing. You know, these are companies that believe in the future, and they believe they can make that happen. And I think it's all we can do is trust them the way that we have trusted American industry from the beginning of time. They'll get it done. I'm excited about it. The passion and the dedication of the KSC workforce, all of you out here, you allowed us to proudly operate shuttle for an absolutely incredible 3 decades. That same pride and dedication in today's KSC workforce will send us to new destinations like an asteroid, Mars, once again launching from right here at the Kennedy Space Center in Cape Canaveral. With your exceptional support, we'll restore those awe-inspiring moments of human spaceflight for the next generation of explorers. Those students, some of them probably over there in that band, or maybe even Sierra. Those students who are studying right now to lead us in exploration of the most incredible exploration era ever. It's now NASA's honor to permanently house this magnificent spacecraft right here, where she rose to the skies 33 times, carrying 156 men and women. She's truly a testament to American ingenuity, to the dedication and passion of this workforce, and of our nation to reach higher than ever and do what has not been done before. The Space Shuttle program has been a proud achievement for our nation. With 30 years of missions launching satellites like Magellan and Galileo aboard Atlantis, expanding our international partnerships with visits to Mir and flying crew members from around the world, building the International Space Station, and demonstrating that America, indeed, the world, had a new home and has a new home in low Earth orbit. Those of us who flew Atlantis will never forget the experience, as Chris talked about. For those who made that possible here at Kennedy by processing this amazing vehicle time and time again, to those who watched in awe as she launched and maneuvered in space and did incredible things, those memories, the inspiration, that passion is still yours. America still leads the world in exploration, and we're building on the many fine accomplishments of the Space Shuttle program to take us where we've not gone before, to places where our imagination and our aspiration tells us we can go if we channel the passions that built and launched Atlantis and create a new day. Atlantis' final mission may have closed out the Space Shuttle program, but the spirit that created that program and built her is very much alive as we develop the technologies and systems not only for private companies to serve our needs in low Earth orbit, but to keep us on the road to an asteroid, to Mars, and places beyond. I want to thank all the crews here today who flew Atlantis in space. I want to thank the workforce that sent her successfully to orbit again and again. And I also want to thank the American public at large for making this incredible dream and achievement possible that we all share today. Our best days are ahead of us, with the shuttle as our tailwind. Godspeed, Atlantis, on your next mission of inspiration and motivation. And now I'd like to ask Bob Cabana, Bo, Chris, Bill, and Cheryl to join me up here on the stage while we do what we came up here to do.
Oh, just one down. All right. You're going to need one.
Oh, you want to see it?